Hello and welcome back to the official Magic the Gathering Arena YouTube channel. It's me at CGB and this is LVD, and we are the greatest 6 letters abbreviated in Magic Arena YouTube, ready to do battle for you.
Yeah, we like to keep it short here, so we won't waste your time too much.
But today we are playing Foundation Standard. We're having a showdown with each other. The winners will go on to face the winners, and the losers will go on to play some Explorer in a future video. So we'll both be back here for another video. But this is it, man. You and I, when's the last time we had a 1v1 match in some kind of a setting?
We've probably battled a few times in the early access events, but yeah, I don't think we've done a video together in 2 or 3 years now, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to be having best of 3 standard with Foundations, the new set that's just come out, and will be legal for 5 years. Can you believe these cards are going to be legal for 5 years?
Yeah, it's definitely good value to get in now, as you'll be able to play with these cards for a long, long time.
Yes, Foundations provides a lot of value. I stole that from you. I learned that from you.
It's all about value here.
So have you found anything like really sweet that you're excited about in Foundations? Any cool combos? Any cool tips?
Sure.
Asking for a friend?
There's definitely a lot of cool reprints as well, so I'm playing one of those in today's deck. But just in general, it's always nice to have like this core set experience in Standard, which has been missing for a while. So now we go back to kind of Magic's classics like mono green elves. You've got more burn spells in Standard now, as opposed to the pump spell aggro decks, which have been popular as of late. And yeah, just kind of going back to Magic's roots is not a bad place to be.
Not at all. Not at all. Do you have anything spicy cooked up for the viewers today?
I'm definitely playing one of my kind of all-time favorite Magic cards, so I would like to think so.
I'm going back to my roots as well. I'm playing a version of the first deck I ever built myself. Yeah. It's going to be really exciting.
To it.
All right, let's dive in. I always say let the nonsense begin.
I always say let's jump into some games and see how the deck does.
Today for my showdown with LVD, I'm playing a deck called Bloodthirsty Black. This is using the new card Bloodthirsty Conqueror in combination with Enduring Tenacity to create a life gain and drain loop that can kill my opponent on the spot, while also combining the good old demon combo of Bloodletter of Aclazotz with Unstoppable Slasher. These things fall together in a lot of cool ways because we have the demon Bloodletter of Aclazotz now running Unholy Annex gets better, and the new land Soulstone Sanctuary can turn into a demon so it can continue the pressure from the Unholy Annex. The rest of the deck has removal and interaction to keep from being easily defeated by our opponent's combo or creature strategies. A lot of credit for this list specifically goes to username Rushi, RUSHI_00 on MTGO. Got a 5-0 with a very similar list. I was mostly there on the main deck. I did change 1-2 cards, something like that. But I needed help with the sideboard as I don't normally play best of 3. And I saw Rushi's list and was like, that works for me. I love the cards that are in the sideboard. Specifically, one of the spicier sideboard inclusions is Render Inert. If LVD dares to play the demon Archfiend of the Dross, I will remove 5 counters from it and make him lose the game on the spot. And that sounds delightful. There are 2 other cards I knew I wanted in the sideboard no matter what. One is Withering Torment. The ability to target an enchantment or a creature is really handy. There are some really strong enchantments that are hard to deal with in this meta. And the other is the Outrageous Robbery, which is hiding down here behind the done button and the editor will put on screen. Outrageous Robbery as a one of is exactly the kind of card I like to bring out of a sideboard to steal tons of cards from my value-based opponent and turn their deck into my value. If I get to pull that off on LVD, I'll be a happy guy. So let's do it. Let's dive in. Let this nonsense begin.
I will be bringing Cat Pact into the arena. Demonic Pact is one of my all-time favorite Magic cards, so happy to see it reprinted in Foundations. A 4-mana enchantment, saying at the beginning of your upkeep, choose one of these 4 modes that hasn't been chosen yet, between dealing 4 damage to any targets and we gain 4 life, can make the opponent discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards ourselves, and last but not least, we lose the game. So hopefully we don't have to choose that mode ourselves, and instead we can gift Demonic Pact pact to our opponent using Harmless Offering. So if we choose the 3 beneficial modes first, now Harmless Offering, give Demonic Pact to our opponent. The only mode left is you lose the game, which will immediately win us the game instead. So that's our game plan. To make sure we find these combo pieces consistently, we've got a few tutor effects throughout. Insatiable Avarice we can cast for 3 mana to find a card and put it on the top of our deck, or we can draw 3 cards at the cost of 3 life, and for 5 mana we can choose both modes. And then there's also Besiege the Mirror, which we can cast with Bargain if we sacrifice an artifact or enchantment, and then not only do we get to find whatever card we want, but if its mana value is 4 or less, we can also immediately cast it for free. And then the artifacts and enchantments we plan to sacrifice include the Iron Crag, can maybe help us cast a Demonic Pact on turn 3 already by ramping it out. Maze Mind Tome is a great reprint in Foundations, can tap it to scry 1, so we can also activate this in our upkeep to hopefully improve our draw step, and if we've got spare mana we can pay 2 to draw a card instead, and after 4 activations it goes away and we gain 4 life. And then there's a Bitter Reunion, which can potentially discard a card to draw 2, especially useful in game 1 when we might have some dead cards in certain matchups, and then we can also later sacrifice it to Bargain. And then we've got a ton of creature interaction with Cut Down at 1 mana. At 2 mana, we've got Go for the Throat for larger creatures that aren't artifacts. A Braid can either deal 3 or destroy an artifact. And then a Scorching Dragonfire, especially good against some of the recursive threats like Enduring Curiosity, which is seeing a lot of play in Standard right now, so we can exile it for good. Also good against Unstoppable Slasher, there's a few others. And then we've got Pyroclasm to deal with go-wide creature decks that maybe make a lot of tokens, dealing 2 to everything. And then to make sure we can resolve our spells against control decks, we're also packing 4 copies of Duress to make sure that they cannot simply counter our Harmless Offering, and then we lose the game to our own Demonic Pact, so hopefully Duress can prevent that from happening. And then our mana base also has a few lands that enter tapped but help dig through the deck. Theater letting us Surveil 1, and Temple of Malice letting us Scry 1, another reprint in Foundations. And that's also the reason why I'm not playing a Fabled Passage, since that could otherwise maybe help fix our colors, but shuffling the deck is not something we want to do after having scried a bunch of cards to the bottom with Maze Mind Tome and the Temple. So instead, we've got just 1 mountain, 9 swamps, since we don't want to draw a double mountain in a deck with Avarice and Besiege the Mirror requiring triple black, and then a bunch more dual lands entering untapped. Blazemire Verge is perfect, since we've got plenty of basic types to enable it, and Sulphurous Springs occasionally costing us a bit of life, but I want to avoid Blackleaf Cliffs, since we're typically aiming for the late game, and then having all our lands enter untapped is nice, since we also have a lot of mana sinks like Maze Mind Tome and Insatiable Avarice. And then the sideboard, I had some fun, all one-offs to keep things interesting. Deathmark, another nice reprint against green and white creatures. Barrage against blue creatures, and can also take out white creatures, especially good against the Oculus at 5 toughness. We've got a bit of Graveyard Hate with Ghost Vacuum, can activate it repeatedly. And then a Soul Guide Lantern can maybe be cycled. Let's say we draw both Graveyard Hate cards, at least Lantern can replace itself. We've got a bit more discard against control with Cruel Claw's Heist. Liliana can also make the opponent discard, but can also offer a bit of flexibility with a -2, making the opponent sack a creature. Then Deadly Cover-Up can be good against us as well. If the opponent collects evidence, they could get rid of all copies of Demonic Pact if they maybe dealt with one of them already. But of course we don't have many creatures that they can destroy, but we can maybe use Deadly Cover-Up in other creature matchups where the opponent presents lots of threats, and then occasionally strip away an important combo piece out of the opponent's deck as well with Collect Evidence. Nowhere to Run, great against all the aura strategies, or maybe some of the prowess decks that rely on hexproof tricks and ward to protect their creatures. Sheoldred's Edict, another versatile card, can also deal with planeswalkers or maybe creatures if the opponent only has one big one in play. It's perfect. We've got an extra Pyroclasm. Phyrexian Arena can draw us extra cards in those grindier matchups. Withering Torment, a pretty unique answer for black to deal with enchantments. Then we've got the Brotherhood's End, dealing 3 to everything, including creatures and planeswalkers, and can also destroy artifacts with it occasionally. And then a Sheoldred can be an alternate win condition, because after sideboard, the opponent might take out most of their creature removal, and then maybe Sheoldred can win the game by itself. Also important if the opponent manages to get rid of all the copies of Demonic Pact. And then last but not least, Outrageous Robbery can also be a nice one in the grindier matchups where, again, we might need an alternate win condition, can now start stealing a bunch of cards out of the opponent's library and win the game with those instead. So yeah, that's Cat Pact. The game plan's pretty simple. There are other ways to approach the deck. You could maybe play Archfiends and gift that to the opponent, but a creature is a lot easier for the opponent to deal with. And then there's also Falcon as a replacement for Harmless Offering if you want to play blue. And there's also another 4-mana enchantment you could play instead of Demonic Pact, which can make you some bats, and then if you gift it to the opponent, they will have to discard, lose 2 life, and sacrifice a creature each turn. But I found Demonic Pact to just be the most straightforward win condition, so we'll go with 4 copies of those instead. So yeah, let's jump into some games and see how the deck does. Alright, we won the die roll, so we get to be on the play. And what do we think of our opener? Temple of Malice to scry. And then Bitter Union. If we are not facing a creature deck, we can ditch some of our removal. And then Beseech has something to sack to bargain, so we'll keep.
That's okay. I like drawing cards. I like drawing lands I can use. That would be nice. Immediately punished for playing the colorless lands. That's a mull. And now we can keep, and we either put away the Conqueror or the Duress. And when I only have 2 lands, I like putting away my 5-drop. We'll get that later.
Blade Temple's Cry. And then Maze Mind Tome. I don't mind keeping.
Temple of Malice? Is that his favorite card? Duress you. Show me your secrets. Whoa! Beseech the Mirror, Bitter Reunion, and a lot of removal. Uh-oh. So I'm guessing the Beseech the Mirror is the key card, and we can duress that later. I think what I'm supposed to do is take the removal spell, and then if the Bitter Reunion doesn't draw another removal spell, the bat might stick.
Alright, removal spell taken. And then I think we get Tome online, since that can make sure we keep drawing cards in the face of more discard.
Oh, nice top deck. Oh, Maze Mind Tome provides a lot of value. All right, bring forth the bat.
Deep Cavern Bats to be expected.
And then next turn, we have to duress the Beseech, I think, which is unfortunate.
I think I'm okay waiting to scry on Maze Mind Tome. Since we already have Reunion, we can discard to... or rather, we have Reunion we can set up Beseech with. So we can just prioritize drawing more cards. So we'll maybe scry first. Avarice, I don't mind keeping. And then... yeah, I'll just pass a turn.
Scry to the top. Does not play Bitter Reunion. I wonder why. Guess just wants to draw. So if we run out the Annex, this might be a Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Tome to get something. What do you think that something is? I have a theory. I don't think I can duress here. I think I'm going to run out the Annex. I think we need to pile up cards.
The Sanctuary, another new addition from Foundations as well, and the Annex. So there's a demon deck of sorts. And we'll draw.
I think LVD likes value too much to sacrifice the Maze Mind Tome to Beseech the Mirror. I don't think he's gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Could upkeep Scry with Tome, but I think we're fine just taking our draw step. And then now Bitter Union, discard a land. And then I can still at the very least draw with Tome. And cut down now an option 2. Okay, pass it back.
Well, as of right now, my bat is alive. My bat is still alive. Now, Reunion being sacrificed makes sense to me. So let's duress.
The rest is gonna once again have a look. That's fine.
I don't think any of my removal spells will be helpful the way this game is going. So this card is a bit of a tell. Okay. Yeah, this is a combo finish. My removal spells are going to be useless, and the cut down's going to kill the bat. So, is it Beseech? Or is it this Avarice card? That's a lot of value. Big surprise. Yeah, let's take the Beseech the Mirror. Draw more cards, please. Oh my goodness, not more removal spells. I need lands and combo pieces. I need lands and combo pieces, guys. Where are those?
Find Demonic Pact, excellent. So just take our draw step. And then it's probably an okay window to play Pact, keep up cut down. Or we could Surveil. But then if they play another bat, I'll regret it. So yeah, we'll get the Pact going.
Ah! Demonic Pact. A good magic card, I'm sure.
Mono black is going to struggle to destroy enchantments. So, don't mind our position right now.
And there's an extra land. There's a cut down available. I think we have to go for the Bloodletter. And the Bloodletter is going to get shot. But we're just not doing enough. And at least this is going to drain the opponent and get more cards. So at least if Demonic Pact shoots the Bloodletter, it's not doing something worse to us. Oh my goodness, this is not going well. This is not going well at all.
And then still fine to take my draw step, I think. Find another cut down. Alright, how about Theater, Surveil, find a Duress. I don't mind keeping that one to maybe take away another discard spell. And then I guess now the problem with casting Avarice with Spree is that we would shuffle away the Duress, so maybe I want to just draw it. And then we can fire it off now, and then next turn Avarice to get Offering.
Duressing me. Well, look at all my powerful cards. Look at them.
Alright, so a bunch of spot removal, which we don't care about, and I'll take another Annex.
Another one. Well, it's not clear that LVD has an answer to the Bloodletter, so let's go for it. Scorching Dragonfire is just 3.
So that's going to drain us for 4 once again. And then now we'll draw 2, since discarding doesn't accomplish much.
Draw 2. It's pretty good.
Alright, found the Offering, that's excellent. And now between a Braid and Dragonfire we can answer the Bloodletter. So we have a lot of options. I think we just deal with Bloodletter while we can.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Exiling it in the process. And then I can either activate the first tome or play another one. So what's the worst case scenario? A discard spell takes Offering. Still have 2 turns basically to get rid of the Demonic Pact. But that includes this turn. So yeah, I guess we'll just play another tome.
Not another one, no! Alright. Well, so much life is going to be gained that racing isn't the play. We're not going to be able to kill with damage. We have to kill with the Pact, which means we have to draw Duress, right? Next turn's the turn, so we don't get another chance here. We can hope that there isn't another way to stop this bat. That's our best chance. And we see the Harmless Offering, we see the cut down to take out the bat. Yeah, so we take this. But that's not going to stop LVD unless there is a dramatic mistake.
And find another Duress, just in case, but shouldn't be necessary.
Ah, the Conqueror!
So So opponent discards 2 cards, cut down Deep Cavern Bats, and cast Offering. Go to our main phase, good the rest to have another look. Might give us some info for game 2. And I see Bloodthirsty Conqueror, so there might be a 2-card combo there as well. Give the Demonic Pact. And our opponent loses the game. Awesome.
My demon deck just lost the game to a Demonic Pact. So much flavor, I hate it. All right, things are about to change. Now, I don't know if we should take out all of the removal spells, because LVD be crafty. LVD knows that the sideboard game sometimes means bring in some creatures, right? So we should be ready for that. I don't know if my Bloodletter Slasher combo is what's going to win me this game, though, either. So what we want is the Robbery. We want the Withering Torments. Render Inert, 5 counters. If you remove all the counters from the Mazemind Tome, it just does even more cool things. So I don't think that's the ad. Let's hold off on Render Inert for the moment. And it's going to be really hard to win with combos, to be honest. I think I'm going to pull the Virtues, all of them, and all the cutdowns. And this is just going to be a mid-range slugfest to see who can hit the right discard spells at the right time and then also pull off their combo. So let's do it.
Now game 2, things might get a bit more complicated, as our opponent will have access to maybe their own Withering Torment to destroy enchantments. So how do we want to adapt? Don't really need Graveyard Hate, Barrage, Deathmark aren't needed. So we're looking at maybe Cruel Claw's Heist for more discard. Sheoldred's Edict should be okay. Can deal with larger creatures. Torment can destroy their enchantments. Cover-up seems okay. Opponent could have their own cover-up to strip away our combo pieces, so that's a reason to add in an extra win condition, either Outrageous Robbery or Sheoldred or both. And then Liliana should be decent too. Phyrexian Arena, I think it's worth it as well, but we have to be careful that we don't lose too much life. And then, what do we get rid of? Abrade and Pyroclasm and even Scorching Dragonfire aren't at their best since their creatures are pretty large. Cut down, still a decent answer to the Bat. Could maybe still shave 2 copies, but then Bat's gonna be a lot more problematic. Yeah, still probably okay to do this. So we still have a Sweeper, but it can deal with demons. We've got Outrageous Robbery and Sheoldred as alternate win conditions. Alright, this seems fine to me. Time for game 2.
I will play first. Yeah. No mulligans? Keeples? Yeah, who's in charge now?
And we're on the draw. We've got both combo pieces and no real removal, but we took most of it out, so yeah, I'll keep.
What's in your hand? What you got? Is it a Mazemind Tome? I'll take it. Outrageous Robbery, Harmless Offering, Demonic Pact, the Avarice, and Liliana. Liliana, huh? So one of these I get to heist with the Cruel Claw's Heist. Which one is that? We have to actually think this through. I don't mind the Robbery, because early on it's not that good. Liliana is very good, but I think I want to take the Liliana. I think I want to pitch the Avarice, take the Liliana, or pitch the Pact. We have Withering Torment for the Pact, though, as long as we can protect our hand. There's going to be discard spells from his side, so that might be ambitious. But yeah, I'm going to take this draw 3. I just got a 3 for 1. That's good value.
Alright, takes Avarice. Scry, Phyrexian Arena. Would be good in this matchup and in this position, but I think land number 3 is still more important.
To the bottom, yep. Okay, Robbery on Robbery. I'm going to gift you a card, and I'm going to heist you.
And the Cruel Claw's Heist. What's his draw? Probably taking a Liliana now.
So 2 offerings is totally fine. I'm going to take your Liliana of the Veil for myself. She's mine.
So they can cast that next turn. Well, at least we hit our land drops in the meantime, so that's nice. And we still have both Demonic Pact and Offering.
And as you can see right now, there might not be any creature removal. So here comes the Slasher.
All right, there's a Slasher. I guess it was likely to be in the deck, so taking our Scorching Dragonfire probably a mistake.
Just draw a Bloodletter. Win the game. Easy. Come on, baby. Let's go.
So we'll take our turn. And then, yeah, hopefully there's no Bloodletter, otherwise we're just dead.
Oh my gosh. Did we just go for it? Oh, we could... What if I'm wrong, though? What if he has the answer? I could try to soften him up with Liliana. Nah! There's only one play. We're trying to catch him trying to catch him sleeping. Good game. Boom, yeah. Oh, that was silly.
All right, well, that's where we get a game 3. So definitely bringing Dragonfire back in. A Braid, not the best answer to the Slasher combo. Might be fine playing a couple more copies of Cutdown. Yeah, Outrageous Robbery, now that they know about it, also maybe loses a little bit of value. Don't really expect them to be on Deadly Cover-Up to strip away all the Demonic Pacts. So maybe a Robbery can go, and so can Shieldred's, and just focus on not dying to the combo. Shieldred's Edict not the best in the face of Slasher. So maybe I actually prefer the extra Cutdown. I guess we'll give this a try.
Game 3 on the draw. We're going into Swerve territory. And I think what is going to happen, if I'm in LVD spot, I'm bringing back a lot of the cheap removal spells to make sure that the Slasher Bloodletter doesn't roll me. So I think that there is a world where we get out of the Slasher game in Game 3. And what we want to do is switch to the mid-range game, right? And take full control that way. This looks like it's going to be a bit of a grind fest. We're on the draw. We should embrace it. We still saw plenty of Harmless Offering type Demonic Pact things going on. I think I'm going to cut the Bloodletters. I think I'm going to keep the Slashers, though, because they keep coming back, which is really hard for Grixis specifically to deal with. And the Bats still tax early removal. But this time we're going for the Bloodthirsty Conqueror Enduring Tenacity kill. That is the evil plot. And we're playing a mid-range game until we get there. So we've brought in the mid-range threats of Sheoldred the Apocalypse, Liliana Dreadhorde General. We're going to try to drag this game into deep water, and we'll see if the Demonic Pact deck can pull it off. If you wanted a Game 3 value post-sideboard battle with LVD, if that was on your Christmas list, have I got good news for you. Keep.
On the play. And we've got a Keeper. The rest can still take away Tome before we get a chance to cast it. But we get to Surveil or Scry. Maybe start with a Scry. Don't need another land.
Annex is really nice. What you got? Take your Maze Mind Tome. Oh! Nailed it! Oh, but that heist, though. If LVD... And there's a Withering Torment. So, I don't know if I can beat this tome, which is a silly thing to say, but if LVD uses Heist and takes my Annex, that's going to feel really bad too. But it also might kill him. He has Besiege. It probably won't kill him. And he'll have to deal with the Slasher. I'm going to take the tome.
Alright, takes Tome. Yeah, probably need to Heist while we can. And sure, we'll gift a card, since I don't have a great turn 3 play lined up. We do see Withering Torment as well, Deep Cavern Bats, Slasher, Annex. Maybe we take the Slasher here so I can play it next turn. Torment answers Annex, but of course I can take it with Duress or Bats. But Slasher applies a good amount of pressure.
And the take is the Slasher. Now remember, if the Slasher dies, it comes back under our control, so I don't expect him to cast it anytime soon. And let's get that Withering Torment so it can't hit our Annex. And LVD is looking at a handful of land.
Demonic Pacts, alright. Now the problem is they still have their Torments, which can destroy my enchantment before it does anything.
And, oh, Slasher comes right out. Yeah, this goes under my control, right? I think it does. Yep, owner's control. Read the card. There it is. Slasher is mine.
It does come back under the opponent's control now, so That was a drawback of that line of play. But now the coast is clear for Demonic Pacts, and yeah, just gotta hope to cheese this one out.
And a Demonic Pact! Oh, wow. A bold call. Right on cue. I don't think we want to duress here, right? We want to wait until the draw two. So let's run out the Annex. This might be Withering Torment on the Annex if it's 4 damage to the bat.
And yeah, let's just deal with Slasher right now. Could also answer the bats, get back Torment, answer Annex. But need to make sure we don't die to another Bloodletter combo. The rest can now have a look. Probably worth it to surveil first, so we get a bit more info. And yeah, I don't mind Dragonfire, answers bats, and then Torment answers Annex. Although at this point we need to actively start looking for our Harmless Offering. Cruel Claws Heist and Duress. I guess we take the Heist. Otherwise they make me draw into the Dragonfire. And can take that away potentially.
And the Heist is taken. The Soulstone Sanctuary off the top. I think we're dropping a Conqueror or a Ritual Chamber. Which should it be? Cards in hand can be discarded to the Pact to save the 1 Duress. Let's go with Ritual Chamber. Big pressure.
And then now, probably want to draw 2.
LVD is trying to hit another discard spell to take the Duress. Next turn is discard 2 and give you Pact, probably.
And another Surveil land. Alright, so if we could Surveil into Offering, that would be nice. Another Dragonfire is not going to be good enough. So, yeah, we might just die to our own Demonic Pact. Can Dragonfire the bat, get back Offering, or rather Torment. Answer the Demon or the Annex. But if we don't draw Offering, we still lose the game.
Tenacity off the top. We have a combo, but it's not actually going to matter. Hit the bat. Take the Torment. What does Torment hit? The Demon. Okay. Okay. If he draws the Harmless Offering right off the top, we lose. It's not there. Okay. Okay. Caw-caw, let's see what you got. I don't think it matters much, but let's play the Conqueror.
Opponent can discard 2. And that's what I like about Demonic Pact. Win or lose, it leads to exciting games. Although sadly drew the cut down. So that's not gonna do it. Verge can go. GG's.
Passes the turn. Good game. Sometimes it's not there. Post tenacity so that the loss can come at your own hands. You have to select it. It doesn't feel so much like I won as much as LVD lost. And I'm okay with that.
All right, and we're back. Well, those were some quick and exciting games. What do you think?
I was terrified. I was like gonna chew my nails. I wanted to chew my nails, which I haven't done since like middle school, because I thought you were just gonna draw the Harmless Offering. I thought for sure you were gonna pull the Harmless Offering right off the top of the deck, and there was nothing I could have done.
I had some redraws too, but sadly was just a cut down.
Brutal. So speaking of cut down and removal spells in general, when you played the turn 2 Maze Mind Tome in game 1, I looked at my hand of removal and said, well, crap.
Yeah, the game one matchup is probably pretty favored for Demonic Pact, if I had to guess. But after sideboard especially, things get a little bit more difficult as you get like Withering Torment to interact with enchantments. And also, just the fact that discard spells put you in this awkward spot as the Demonic Pact player, because usually you can just kind of take your time, play Demonic Pact once you have your offering in hand already, so you don't have to worry about missing out. But when your opponent has like a bunch of Duresses and other discard spells, you kind of have to just play your Demonic Pact when you draw it, which kind of led to the situation in Game 3, where I'm just kind of hoping to top deck at the last second.
Yep, can't really hold back in hand. Also, as the player going against Demonic Pact, I can try to wait and have a Cruel Claws Heist or Duress the very same like right before you want to Harmless Offering, to try to put you in that position of top deck or lose the game.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes when I play Demonic Pact, because I've played it a few times by now, against some decks you actually just want to play Demonic Pact, and if the opponent doesn't have a way to remove enchantments, which usually mono black that's the case, although there's a few exceptions like the Withering Torment, and then basically you just play Demonic Pact and immediately Harmless Offering first chance you get, and then sure, the opponents may end up drawing a few cards and dealing 4 damage, but as long as they don't win the game with it, you'll still eventually get there. So sometimes that's kind of the game plan going in.
Oh yeah. So I'm curious, after sideboarding, did you have Torch the Tower in your deck?
And no Torch the Tower. I did consider adding that one to the deck, but since we need like triple black for Avarice and triple black for the Bargain card, the mana base doesn't quite work out in such a way that we consistently have red mana on turn 1. So Torch the Tower, while useful and can be a way to sacrifice your own Demonic Pact, did not end up making the cut, but it's certainly a card that could be in the 75.
It was in my head of whether or not to run Slasher in the last 2 games. It was certainly like living rent-free in my head if you'd have Torch the Tower. But
I was running 2 copies of Scorching Dragonfire, because that card's also good against the, what's the card called? The blue cat that turns back into an enchantment if you Enduring Curiosity,
And Enduring Tenacity, which was part of the combo in my deck, would have exiled my beautiful snake friend. So
yeah, I kind of saw the 5-drop in game 1, so I'm kind of glad I still fired off a discard spell in that last turn before I won the game.
I should have scooped in response.
Yeah, it was at the same time I kind of sideboarded maybe incorrectly, because I took out some of my cheaper removal spells, thinking maybe your curve was a bit higher, and I wanted to be prepared for all the bigger demons. But I probably should have kept up a few more cheaper removal spells for the Slasher as well, because that just rolled me in game 2.
Well, you'll see in the replay, I top decked the demon. I just raw ripped it. I called the shot and ripped it off the top. It was glorious. Do you know what you've done to me though? I'm going to probably put Mazemind Tome in every deck for the next month, because I was so jealous. I was fuming jealous when you played that on turn 2. I'm like,
that's another one of my favorites. It's just never a bad card, really. Even against aggro, just cry 4 times and gain 4 life is fine, assuming you survive that long. But there's a lot of fun combos you can do with it too. I've got a black-white life gain deck in the works where it can also set up the Tenacity combo with a Conquer, so it has a lot of uses.
Yeah, Foundations in general, like a lot of the reprints, just really happy to have around, and we're going to have them for a long time. So it's going to be a good time.
So if you're maybe considering getting into Standard, now's the perfect time.
Absolutely. Endorsed by yours truly and LVD. Hey, thanks for playing this match today, and you'll see us on the channel in future videos.